Whoa, and we're live. What's going on, everybody? This is Dylan with Dylan Talks Tone, and this is our weekly hangout. You're on this side this time.
I'm on this.
Yeah.
What?
Because So, this is
my bad side.
Is it your bad side?
No.
You have a good side versus a bad side?
Not to my knowledge.
We are at Texas Toast Guitars.
Can
Still,
I get in this thing?
you're going to be real tall.
I can adjust.
You can adjust?
No, luckily my weight will collapse it down. How's that? Does that look okay?
Yeah, you're good.
I still feel a little tall.
So, yeah, I have a wider lens than you all. So,
There we go. Oh man, so dialed now.
awesome. And actually, for some reason, my microphone was unplugged.
Cool.
Very cool. Okay,
Is that
so
all right?
Yep, I think we're good.
Good.
Thank you for all your assistance. So, we are at Texas Toast Guitars, obviously, because I'm sitting here with the great and powerful Chris Fesker.
Thank you. I'm just filling in, I think, for a few minutes.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah,
That's
it
okay.
is. Yeah.
We have some really, really cool stuff to tell you about. There's a guitar body sitting here on the table.
Mm-hmm.
This is something on my channel I have never been able... This is a first for my channel. I mean, I've been on your live streams in the past a bunch of times talking about class-related things and workshops and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But on my channel, and to be personally involved in one, this is the first time in this way that anything like this has ever happened. So I'm kind of really excited about it.
That's cool. Yeah.
So, and I'm also really excited because the guitar itself, there's a reason why I built these in the past. So, instead of being cryptic about all of this, we are going to get into some Q&A stuff. We've been here making pickups, working all month, and on the weekends, we've been doing these guitar workshops where we make, the folks that sign up for them make pickups. And then we've got a couple here, 3 here this week, who were here last weekend. Part of that, 4. We have 4 people here this week that were part of that class last weekend. Some of them wound pickups that they are now putting in guitars that they're building with you and Matt.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just over there in the corner doing my normal thing, but watching all this happen. And it's just been really, really fun to see it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? I mean, I think it's cool. And I think the students, the participants think it's cool. And I think you probably think it's cool too.
I think it's cool too. Well, so this thing keeps happening as I'm staying at the Flaherty RV Resort.
RV Park and Wildlife Preserve.
Oh, Wildlife Preserve. That's right.
Yeah.
We've seen a fox. We've seen rabbits. We've seen birds I've never seen before.
Much, yeah.
But mostly rabbits. Lots of rabbits.
If you looked over the fence, you might see a chicken.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that counts as wildlife or a pet.
It's true. One of the things that keeps happening is that Leslie gets up really early in the morning to work.
Yeah, because she's still working on Eastern time, right?
Matt alleges that he goes to the gym early in the morning. And so after said things happen, him and I will sit and have coffee. And one of the things that has happened is, hey, do you want to kind of put together what we've been doing? This whole thing of me coming out here on the weekend and for a month and working on the weekends with this was sort of a weird experiment. And I think overall people dug it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we pretty much sold it out. So yeah.
Yep. And even Chris is going to wind some pickups tomorrow. So, we've sold the thing out. Matt says, you have a guitar design, don't you? And I said, I do. And he said, well, do you want to do your own? What if we hosted the thing, but instead of making it to where you had to work all week and then go on the weekend, let's put it into one.
Mm-hmm.
And let's come up with a class workshop deal where you built a guitar and you made your own pickups. And then he let me choose the design, which is really cool. So here it is. for those of you that are familiar with my channel and have been around a long time, you know that we used to build these. This is back in the day, it was the Dylan Custom Guitars Batfish. And you will notice that it is very similar in shape to a Les Paul Jr. because Les Paul Jr.'s are one of my favorite guitars of all time.
So why Batfish?
So if you Google Batfish, I was trying to think of a name for this because it's kind of a bunch of things put together. It's 25.5-inch scale with a Tele bridge pickup because I love Teles. But I also love Les Paul Jr.'s, so why not put them together?
Sure.
Also, if you'll notice, my other favorite guitar as of late is my Silver Sky. And I didn't have any nods to PRS. And when I say nods to PRS, I meant like irreverent references.
Sure.
So we went ahead and put the little scoop right in here. I just thought it was kind of fun to take everything that I like about playing guitar and smash it into one. P90 in the neck. P90 is my favorite pickup in the world. And my other favorite pickup in the world is a Tele bridge pickup. So putting it all together. So you ask about Batfish. If you Google Batfish, it's this weird looking fish that looks like a bunch of animals. It looks like a fish and a lizard and a salamander and a bat and a bunch of stuff got like thrown in a blender and this animal came out. And so I felt that it was appropriate for said design.
Cool.
So,
would you like me to write a theme song for this song right now? For this guitar right now?
No,
sure. No.
I knew you were gonna.
No. Batfish.
Don't you have a
Batfish. There you go.
Don't you have a relatively enthusiastic follower on your YouTube channel named Adam West?
I haven't heard from him in a while.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe that it may not be the real Adam West.
Oh,
since he's dead and all. Yeah.
So the real Adam West is not alive somewhere.
Not
in
alive
Illinois?
and trolling me. No.
Yeah. Okay,
not to my knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, can you tell me, Chris, in your normal build a classic Fender, because this class could very well very closely resemble a build a classic Fender class, right?
Sure.
What normally, like the class that came this week, what do they get, and what do they leave with? What do they have to bring? All that kind of stuff. Like, how does that work?
So we supply the wood for the body. We supply a neck, somewhat a halfway done neck blank, and then they supply and all the obviously sandpaper and paint and all that, and then they usually come with all their hardware. So bridge,
they pre-purchase all this stuff.
Yeah, all the bolt-on stuff that goes onto a guitar body.
Okay.
Yeah. Was that the right answer?
Yeah. So I kind of knew that, but I was just trying to pay attention. So the difference between this class and that is you're going to get a turnkey instrument. So when you show up, you don't need to bring anything. I would say bring a paint mask so that you can paint your own guitar.
Yeah. One of the reasons that we changed it was because people kept wanting different pickups. That was the main thing. Was whatever pickups we decided on wasn't what people wanted. And bridges are easy to change. Everything else is easy, but it was the pickups that was the main thing. And when we thought, well, we could step up and buy better pickups, but it still might not be what they want.
Oh.
So that was the reason for this the
kind of the
change.
Okay.
But I think, since you get to make your own pickups in this thing we're talking about, then that component goes out the window, and we can source everything else, really good stuff everywhere else. So
there was a little strategy in not only the guitar design.
Would you say strategy or strategery?
Strategery.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
there was some strategery involved in this because this is one of those classes where you kind of get to do everything. It's a one-piece swamp ash body. You get to make your own pickups, but you get to make two different kinds, which was important to me. There were some folks that came to this class that like, I want to make two of this and two of this. But if you really want to learn the stuff and kind of get an idea of how it works, the P90 is fun because it's not difficult to wind, but you still kind of get all of the assembly and kind of fun of putting it together of a humbucker. But then the Tele Bridge pickup, you learn how to make a single coil, which is a completely different thing. So there was a little strategy in
different magnet
types
and all of that. So so you get to learn the Gibson.
Yeah.
And you get to learn the
Fender. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so that was the idea. The other thing that's different about this is instead of, like you mentioned, instead of providing your own parts, everything's included, and it is all 100% top shelf stuff. Hipshot hardware, CTS pots. You're going to wind your own pickups, of course, but it's going to be all the same parts that I use. When you buy pickups from me, it's all the same parts that I use. So we're not cheaping out on any of that stuff. And then the bonkers part of this that really takes us to the next level, and some of you may have watched the earlier live stream. Would you like to hold the cutaway neck?
Sure.
And cut it away, if you don't mind.
Oh, you want me to?
Yeah, just rip that.
I broke it!
So, Steve from Maximum Guitars is going to make the necks for this particular setup. And there's a few super boutique-y things about this that are really cool. On the inside, there is a really nice, very high-end, I didn't even know truss rods could cost this much. This is super fancy. It's stainless steel, so it's lighter than the normal steel ones. It's got a wheel on it, so you don't need a wrench. That's pretty much all that. And then, I mean, how many features can a truss rod really have?
Yeah.
It does truss roddy things.
It turns right and it turns left.
But it's way cooler and it's lighter.
Yep.
And it fits right in there next to the carbon fiber reinforcements that are going to go into this neck. Now, this particular prototype neck, these two necks, are made out of walnut. But we have since, actually tonight, decided that we're going to go with roasted maple and Wenge fretboards for this. So this is going to be really high-end stuff. Again, Hipshot hardware, lumen side dots, and probably the coolest thing ever.
Close in the dark.
Yep. Probably the coolest thing ever is the blind fret slots. So you're not going to have any. This is boutique guitar stuff right here. When you come to the class, you're going to nip the ends of the frets. Matt says he's going to get the tool to dome the end of the frets, which is really cool. So you'll have like really proper, and you'll be able to fret this, really proper fret slots, or really proper frets. And there is room on this profile to maybe put your own little touch on the profile as well. And then, of course, it's a Wood, Sweat, and Beers workshop. So that name goes on the peg head. Designed by Dylan goes on the back. And Steve at Maximum Guitar Works gets his logo right here. So this is going to be a pretty insane deal. There's dates in September of this year and March of next year. And if those sell out, we will add some more. So Matt and I have been talking about that. Yeah. I mean, so it's going to be pretty cool. I'm really excited about it. So if you want to build a guitar, a really cool guitar, and you want to wind your own pickups, this is the thing.
And it's a 5-day class.
5-day class, no weekend.
Yeah, which is cool.
I agree.
Yeah, and for me, the whole pickup winding thing is the big deal. That's sort of, the thing that I haven't gotten to do. I've wound one coil, and it worked, so I was happy with that. I'll get to wind 2 more tomorrow, but that just adds so much to this whole thing, I think.
So, do you think so? Like, I mean, you've been doing this for a while. I mean, years, right? A few years now, a couple of years.
Classes
classes.
Or
classes in general.
Yeah, classes. I think 2 years, 2.5 years. Yeah. Time's flying by.
Do you feel like it's kind of a next level thing to add pickup winding to it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think so. That whole part of it is so cool and so much. Because really, I mean, pickups are so much part of an electric guitar.
Yeah.
And so the ability to wind your own.
Do you think they have more effect on a guitar than the wood? I'm just kidding. Keep going.
Wait.
Sorry.
Yeah. But just that whole aspect of, I made the pickups and I made the body and I made the neck and I did all this other stuff. Yeah, that's even cooler than I bought the most expensive pickups I could find on the internet and shoved them into this guitar. So yeah, I think that's a big part of this.
I think so the thumbnail for this is how to put magic into, what is it? I don't remember. How to put magic into. So somebody in my comments the other day, or on my Instagram or somewhere, was giving me crap about, because I am so irreverent to many guitar traditions, and I was like, I'm not going to follow you anymore because you don't believe in the magic of electric guitar. Like, and you make fun of tone wood, you make fun of finishes stuff, and mostly it's because I have a sense of humor and I think it's funny.
Well, yeah.
But so the whole thing of this video was like, to put when you do it yourself and leave with a quality product, there will be magic in that guitar.
Well, I think so too.
There will be.
Yeah. One of the so when you're playing around with guitars and you do this or you do that, the first guitar that I built on my own 100% is okay,
right?
But I still love it because I did all the steps and I remember doing all those steps.
Yeah.
And I've since built way better guitars, and there's nothing like building your own guitar and sort of bonding with that guitar. And I think, and then if you get to make your own pickups, that's even cooler, so just the whole, there's something about, here's another thing. There's something about making your own guitar and playing it. There's something about loaning that guitar to a buddy and watching them play it and being like, oh, wow, yeah, that guitar really is cool. Yeah, I thought it was good, and now he thinks it's good too.
We get to feel that a lot because we do this. You build guitars for a living.
Yeah, and I still don't get to see it as often as I'd like.
But it is a different feeling, especially if you made it yourself. It is.
Yeah. It's really cool to know that, for better or worse, I did all of that, and there it is. Yeah.
And we're passing this feeling on to other people. Like, we're letting, I want more people to feel this. It's really interesting because the first weekend we did this. So if I go to my Patreon questions, because I'm not supposed to, because I do this every week. It's just different when Leslie's not here, and so I.
Yeah. Are we actually answering the?
We're going to answer.
Are we talking about the topic this week? Because last week.
We are talking about the topic. Yes. So a couple of the questions that came in are really to that. So here we go. Besides Matt's jaw-dropping good looks, what surprised you the most during your time at Texas Toast? And I have to say, feeling. See you later, Steve from Maximum Guitar Works, and nephew. The feeling of watching people put the pickups in their guitar and play it for the first time, and that you could see the look of like, I made this. Yeah. This is so cool. That was the satisfying thing, to watch somebody have that feeling for the first time.
Yeah.
And really be a part of it. Like, I mean, I was here before and watched the class go on. But to be able to put pickup wire in somebody's hand and watch them wind their very first pickup. And so far, so we've done 7 people last week, 6 people the week before, and 6 people
this weekend.
Yeah. So 13 so far. And nobody had to start over. Yeah. They literally successfully wound their very first pickup. Yeah. Like, that was a goal of mine. It was, I wanted them to have that feeling. And to watch them have that feeling, it's so awesome. I just hope that more people get to do this because, and this one is special. And this one, to me, is really, really special. So I'm really excited about doing it.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah. So anyway, I want to share that with y'all tonight. We don't have a ton of questions. Hang on, there's a couple. Good morning from Japan, from Shane. This week, the Fender Custom Shop posted guitars with painted fretboards. Why don't we see more guitars with painted fretboards?
Well, I think we do see. I think we do see a lot of guitars with painted fretboards. Every maple fretboard guitar is painted. It's just got clear on it. People are always worried that the paint,
neck has finish on it.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Rickenbacker paints rosewood fingerboards, for God's sakes. This is a terrible idea.
It's a terrible idea.
I think what we're seeing is more tinted colors, and we're seeing more, translucent colors on maple and stuff like that. You know who you can thank? Texas Toast. We did it first. No, I think we did do a bunch of stuff like that, and we've done a bunch of crazy finishes. We've done metal flake fingerboards, which is stupid. We've done fabric fingerboards, which is even dumber. But I mean, it's. What was the question?
No, why don't we see it? Because it's
why don't
dumb.
we see it? Because it's hard. That's
hard.
The real deal. Is if you want that fingerboard to be gloss smooth, and Fender has their own procedures, but one of their procedures for the longest time was to just spray lacquer over all the frets, and eventually it'll chip off, and that's a real thing. And but if you want it to look really good, it's a lot harder than not spraying paint on the fingerboard. I actually, and I know for a fact, that's one of the reasons that Fender went from the maple fingerboard, which wore really fast with early nitrocellulose lacquer, to a rosewood board, was because the rosewood didn't look bad after a couple of months. You know, maple looks terrible once it starts wearing, unless you like the look of
those dirty teardrops.
Yeah, grungy fingerboards. Then you're good to go. So.
Which is another thing. I think one of the things that I've learned from the folks that are here is for every person in a YouTube comment who says guitars should be cheaper, guitars are too expensive, why are they cheaping out on this guitar? Why isn't that guitar as nice as it used to be? They don't make them like they used to. All those sorts of things.
Yeah.
I can tell you for a fact to a guy that not one person that came to the pickup winding class or to the build your own guitar class is going to complain about how much a $1,200 guitar costs anymore.
Yeah.
It's a completely different appreciation for how this stuff is made. Yeah. And even for those folks that say, you know, yeah, but CNC, so it's not the same and it should be cheaper. I mean, I went out to Maximum Guitars. You don't just chuck something in there and it just pop out the other side.
There's still a whole lot of stuff to do. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and you have to buy the thing. And you have to keep it running 24/7 to justify it. And you have to pay the electricity. And he said it took a year to get 3-phase power out to his...
Yeah, oh yeah.
You know, I mean, like, all those things people take for granted. I know that none of these folks here building this stuff take that stuff for granted anymore. And it was just really neat to watch them value what they were doing.
Yeah.
Really
well, Matt likes to say if you're looking to save money, building your own guitar isn't the way to go. And it's true. you do it because you want something special, or you want to learn how to do it, or whatever reason. But if the idea is I'm going to build my own guitar because I'm too cheap to buy a guitar, especially in this day and age, that's the wrong way to go. Because I saw a thing the other day. I was talking about one of my favorite brands, Mosrite, and in 1964, a Mosrite Ventures model cost $389 without a case. And do you know how much money that is today? Like $2,500 or $2,800. It was really really expensive, but that's just the way it was. That's you want a good guitar, that's what you do. And Mosrite was like double the price of Fender, but still.
But still, when you go and look at all the inflation numbers from like a Fender Telecaster in 1963, or you look at a '59 Les Paul that was $242 or whatever they cost, and a new Les Paul is $2,800, and it's like, well, it's the same.
It's basically the same money.
It's basically the same money.
And well, we all know Gibson wasn't looking to build affordable instruments. They were looking to build
they never really have been.
But everybody thinks Fender was the cheap alternative, when really all they did was mark their stuff $10 less than Gibson, and it was the same money.
So this has been a fairly eventful thing. I've been pretty excited about it. It's been I'm tired.
Yeah.
I was looking back.
Yeah.
I think by the time this month is over, I will have 3 days off.
Yeah.
The entire month.
That seems right.
You guys too.
Yeah. What?
So.
Yeah. You're talking about
it's hard for me to work like all day in a row, man. Like this is.
Yeah, you seem to have checked out early a couple of days. I don't want to, Yeah.
Well,
all I know is I'm working like super freaking hard, and I look up and I'm like, when did Dylan leave? Not that you got to be here for the whole thing, because I'm surprised that you've been here as much as you have been.
Well, yeah. So one of the complications. Whoa.
Don't look at stuff.
Hang on.
Oh, there you go.
This cutaway perfectly fits a beer can.
Yeah. That's how they designed them back then.
Was that by design?
Yeah. That's how they did it back when. Yeah.
So apparently, a drum sander was based on a beer can. Is what we're really trying to say. They're like, wait a minute. If I take this beer can and I wrap sandpaper around it, I can sand in here. And then every guitar after that. Yep. That's
the likeliest of scenarios.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. They were drinking beer thinking,
can math.
How do we? Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I think that is a thing. In olden times,
like when you were a kid.
Well, so you would design things in fairly easy to equate sizes.
Right.
1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, 7/8. 2 inch. There wasn't any like weird
tiny fraction
kind of weird numbers, and so things were
well, and that's like one of the things Matt was trying to.
If you got to sixteenths back in the old days, that was crazy math.
Matt was explaining some of that stuff to some of the guys that were building guitars this week, because they, when you so for example, when you draw a peg head on a piece of paper, you trace a blank, and then you're going to draw your own peg head design. And you're like, oh, that looks cool. You might personally think that looks very cool, even though someone else does not. That's okay. It doesn't matter. You're building your own guitar. But Matt would walk by and say, how are you going to sand in that little spot right there?
Yeah.
And then when you start to realize that Fender necks, this little curve right here, is because there is a drum sander that fits that spot. When you look at this little spot right here, that's because there is a drum sander about the radius of a beer can that fits that little spot.
Sure.
It was a production thing, or was a, those are the things
Yeah, you got to make
think about
your crazy, sharp, fast tool go around all of those curves. If you have to go back and fix something with a little tiny thing, with a little tiny sander.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep, and you might put some little cool design on there, but by the time you sand it a couple of times, then it's gone because you're sanding.
Yeah.
So those types of things, I think, are just so. When we're talking about putting the magic back into guitar, like stopping and smelling the roses and thinking about how guitars are made, instead of complaining about how much they cost, is I don't know. It did it for me, and I do this every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I do this every day. I can tell you why a pickup costs so much. Mm-hmm. But just to hang around and be around it for this long, I'm just like, wow. Like, you know, I had an appreciation for it, and I hope other people do too. You know, I think it's neat. It's really cool.
Cool.
I wonder if there's any questions. If you have any questions,
I hope there are.
Yeah, please get some questions in these here comments, because we've just been talking, and I wanted to tell you about this. We'll leave a link in the description of the video after it's over with, and I'm going to, trust me, be plastering all of my social media with the availability of these 2 classes. It's going to be a total of 12 people, so it will sell out quick, but I'll leave a link to it.
Hey, I asked Steve if he could get us a roasted maple and Wenge fretboard Dylan neck for the guitar. He's going to do it right away.
Oh, awesome. Very cool.
Come sit.
Oh, let's see.
She says she's really enjoyed watching.
Who says that?
Joy said that.
Good.
She says you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Does everybody like the fact that Chris is here instead of Matt? Let's see. Dylan, turn up the mic. I mean, I can hear. Let's turn it up a little. Okay.
How's that? Is that better?
The volume is a little. Oh, a couple people said the volume is a little low. I guess I should pay attention.
I think the difference is that Matt isn't here talking really, really
well.
Loud
It was down at Matt
blowing. Level. It was down at Matt level, yeah. So
yeah.
So now we're gonna blow out your mic. I can actually see the meter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Much better.
Yeah, we're really quiet.
Well, people were saying much better a half hour ago, and I didn't do it. So maybe it was in their imagination.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. We got a couple questions here, I think.
I have a question, Dylan. Have you talked at all about the primetime guitar thing?
No.
No, we haven't.
Mike said that live is the way to go. He had a good time.
Did he?
Yeah.
So, primetime guitar on Thursday.
Another one?
No,
you really don't.
I don't. I don't drink beer fast. Everybody thinks, well, and we haven't had any super chats.
That's true. Yeah.
So, everybody thinks I drink so much, and I'll drink one beer for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
it's all warm and oogie.
Yeah, but it's good beer. Yeah. I can't do it with that stuff.
For an hour and a half?
Banquet.
That's
Coors Banquet.
This is the original craft beer, in case you didn't know.
Can neodymium magnets be used to make pickups? They can. There are some. Jerry Santel.
Does he use
those big fat ones? Yep.
Okay.
They do different things though, man.
That magnet's like way more high powered, right?
Oh yeah.
Like it's crazy.
Big time.
Yeah. And it takes way less of that magnet to do what you want it to do. At least in
smaller
guitar speakers.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So they use them if you're building really light speakers because it's
half
the amount of material to do that.
What's it called? Blackstar just came out with this new amp with a switching power supply in it, like a computer monitor kind of, and some wood, because Russian birch is, you can't get it right now, so they're looking for other light woods. But the other thing is they put a neodymium speaker in it, and it's a 50-watt tube amp, and it weighs like 22 pounds.
Yeah,
I mean that's pretty neat.
It's full on tubes.
Full on tubes, no digital stuff.
What they use for transformers? Usually the transformers.
It's a transformer. It's a lighter transformer too.
Okay, really? Okay.
I played one in a particular Guitar Center. I told you the other day that I got. I got economically profiled.
Eco-shamed.
I got eco-shamed. Yeah. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't take that personally because I think everybody that goes to that GC gets that. Yeah.
I'd like to play this PRS. Are you sure you can't play one of these cheaper guitars over here? No, I'd really like to play the PRS that I have on order right now.
How about this Squire Affinity? Wouldn't this do just the same job?
Oh, man. And then he gives me this guitar. The funniest part about that is, I was like, all right, well, give me that made in Mexico Strat right there with the humbucker and the bridge. I just want to try some different stuff. Oh, dude, I was playing that guitar yesterday, and it is amazing. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Is that what the guy said?
He's like, oh, yeah, I was just playing this yesterday.
Yeah,
it's so awesome.
Yeah. It's Guitar Center, man.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. I'm trying to catch up. Super chat, and there is a brr there, but we just didn't hear it. He said bottoms up. All right. Hey, dudes. Thanks, Ivan, for the super chat, by the way. I appreciate that. That was metric money, too.
Is that Ivan Shank?
That is Ivan Shank.
Is it Ivan or Yvonne? Because I know a Yvonne.
It's Ivan.
Ivan. Is it Ivan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. He's in our Patreon Hangouts. Somebody else actually asked me about Patreon Hangout this month. So every fourth Monday of every month, we do a Patreon Hangout over Zoom. But this Monday is Memorial Day. So I will be posting, and Leslie and I are actually taking next week off because, as I previously mentioned, I really only had a couple days off this week.
Tired. Yeah.
I'm very tired. See, in that compounds, because I work your hours with you, I go back home, i.e. the van in the parking lot, and I go to bed, and then Leslie wakes up at Eastern time hours, 5 a.m. Matt allegedly...
5 a.m. Eastern?
5 a.m. this time.
Okay, so, yeah.
Matt allegedly goes to the gym, and then when he allegedly gets back from the gym, then I
go somewhere, and I allegedly go to the gym. I always come back.
Yeah, he allegedly goes to the gym at whatever time, and then we start having coffee at about 6:30 and thinking of all these crazy ideas.
You sit in his breakfast nook?
I sit in his breakfast nook.
Nice.
Right in it.
Right in it, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right in it.
Yeah. Can't believe Aerosmith's in my breakfast nook.
Hey, Dylan, why did you pick 25.5-inch scale over 25? Matt and I had this conversation today. We had this conversation today because of the thumbing my nose at all guitar brands.
I should just come up with some stupid new scale.
New scale length?
Yeah.
I suppose we have a CNC machine at our disposal and math. Steve figured out.
Yeah, you can just it's not like it's a secret anymore.
Yeah,
you don't have to do it longhand.
25.5 is the only right scale length.
Do you think?
It's my favorite. You play 24 a lot.
Well, I do, and I play 24 3/4. I don't really have any real issues, so maybe that's a sign that I can't play guitar, or whatever. I think of it as riding different bicycles or driving different cars.
Yeah.
Everything has a different feel, but I can always drive a car.
So
4-speed, 5-speed, automatic. Gas pedal on the right.
Me and you have had these conversations, and Matt have had these conversations over the month about, playing different radiuses and how we can play. Do you care if it's 10 or 12? You do not.
No, I don't actually think I can even really tell. What I think people tell, and it's because of brands, not because of that stuff. I think they can tell fret size.
Yes.
And neck profile, and because it's kind of a Gibson Fender world, and those two have different radiuses, they assume that it's the radius, but really it's frets and neck.
Good point. So
that's what I think.
Because Gibson has a flatter radius but tiny frets?
No, big frets. Fender has little frets and a sharper radius.
Okay,
but
so
anyway,
my only Gibson that I own has tiny frets because it's a junior.
Okay.
It's the SG Junior from
They called it the Junior because of the frets.
Yeah.
Somebody actually asked that. Why did they call the guitar a Junior? And I'm like, because it's less. I don't know.
It's less guitar. I think really they were designed as kind of a student thing. So yeah.
Have you ever thought about using a high-Bach sequence of cube-shaped magnets to make a pickup? I feel like this guy has asked this question before. I don't care. Now, that being said, Matt the other day said, "Can you make this wacky pickup?" And I don't know
what kind of wacky pickup did he want. Matt said, "Hot as shit telly."
He did.
Right? Was that the words?
Oh, wait, hang on.
Basically?
Yes, that was the words. As hot as you could get it. We have a super chat, and then we'll get to this
and then split it.
Jeffrey Egan, what makes a guitar a junior? Oh, because we just did cover that. I think it's just because it's flat, and there was only one pickup in it.
Well, it's kind of.
It has the same name as the dad.
It's lesser than. Yeah, I mean, it's
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this might be cubic because there's 2 on this side and 2 on this side.
Yeah.
That means 4.
Uh-huh.
So this is one of my T90s, but Matt said make it crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So we wound it 30% hotter than a regular one, but we tapped it off at the regular level. So this has a coil tap, not a coil split.
Okay.
Coil tap. It also has twice as many ceramic magnets as normal. That was not a sonic design thing. That was because the screws stick out the bottom. And I didn't have the right threaded base plate. So I needed to use one of these base plates. But the screws stuck out the bottom, so I had to space it up. So I spaced it up with more magnets.
Okay, great.
That was the thought design.
So this is the Color Me Lucky, right?
Yeah, I don't know what we're going to call it. It's dumb.
Color Me Lucky. Color Me Lucky.
Ooh, how about the Sonic Reducer? That a nod to the Dead Boys.
The Sonic Reducer.
Yeah, so we've heard this because you put it in your
I did
your Magic guitar.
I did,
but we haven't heard it full on yet, as far as coil split or not coil.
No,
split,
yeah,
but
no. We'll put it into this guitar,
split,
and at some point we'll hear it. We have.
Oh, I heard it. Yeah, we all heard it.
A super chat from Rick Bonneville. Shotgun a whole beer. He said whole bear. So I think we're off the hook for shotgunning a beer because he spelled it wrong.
Yeah.
Shotgun a whole bear if you have the stones. More metric money. I don't shotgun beers.
I'm not going to do that.
I don't shotgun beers.
It costs a lot more to shotgun a beer.
Well, yeah, it does. And if it was maple syrup, I'd have you.
Beers for 99 cents.
Was it 99 cents?
It was metric $6.99.
So that's like
$4.
$1.220.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like
Yeah. I'm not going to do that. But thank you for the super chat.
Yes, thank you so much. And I love the sentiment and the encouraging us to be.
Yeah, I drink fast enough. I don't need.
Van Shank guitars. More. Ivan says, I prefer 12-inch radius because it means that I have to sand off less wood.
And that's a thing. That's actually a thing. Yeah. If in a lot of ways, if bridges and everything else was more like 15, 16, I'd be fine with that and just make them that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
10's cool.
Well, 10's cool because it's 10, right? What's better if you're an Olympic athlete? What are you shooting for?
10.
Yeah, not 7 1/4.
No, nobody's ever heard of you at 7 1/4.
Oh man.
Yeah, there is no Wheaties box. At 7
she didn't do very well at gymnastics. She got 7 1/4, but she did great. 10.
Does Mastery make any Fender Bronco vibratos? This is in your wheelhouse. No.
That's a vibrato. That's like the only Fender vibrato that I've never actually seen in real life.
Really?
Yeah, and I think it's super kind of cheap. And
that would make sense.
Yeah, because that was the ultimate student guitar, CBS era student guitar.
Oh, so
yeah, so even cheaper. But I've never seen one.
I think Rick thinks that you're saying maple syrup wrong because he's from Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask him how he says decal.
Ooh, decal. Yes, decal.
Is it decal or decal?
It's sticker.
It's like it rhymes with pickle. Decal? Not really, but they're close. Pickle and Dick Dale. What? Huh?
Oh
yeah.
4 weeks of this, and we are tired. You can tell because it is like a quarter till, and we're just like, Are we done yet?
Yeah. You know, if I take the labels off, I can't tell the difference between generic and name brand wax beans.
Really?
Yeah. That's a Seinfeld reference for those of you who might know. Yeah. Well,
apparently Alan Holdsworth liked a very flat 20-inch radius.
Yeah, that's a thing. Yeah.
Van Shank is from Canada, and he said sticker.
Yeah, but stickers and decals are two different things, man. Yeah.
That's
a sticker you can just stick. A decal, you might want to, put something over the top. I don't know. It's a whole different application.
It is.
Yeah, you don't need water to put a sticker on.
No. Well, I tell you what. This has been a fabulous, to use one of my wife's words, Primetime Guitars on Thursday.
You're not dozing off early, are you?
Well, I don't know.
Fuck it, I'll come in there. I'll come yell at the camera.
We're waiting for somebody. We're waiting for somebody to ask a question. It's just that everybody's tired. Come on in, Matt.
I'm not tired. I'll come yell at the camera for another. Yeah.
We got like 13 minutes.
I'll come yell at the camera for 13 minutes. It ain't no thing.
Hang
you
on.
know me, Dylan.
Hang on.
No big deal. Oh, the seat's all farted up. It's totally cool. I'll go for another hour and 13 minutes.
I had to go back down to Matt phone.
No, sir. So yeah, everybody who was like, I can't hear. So you talked about the cool guitar? Did you talk about how cool it was to have Steve here for like an hour?
That was amazing.
Dude, I went back and I was chatting with Steve for like a half hour after, like when you guys were just getting started and jumping in. That dude, Chris, will you come address the microphone for a moment?
Oh, at least
at some point, like did Steve talk to you about like what he's be able to do and things like that? You get a brand. Yeah. So it is super cool to have Steve be part of this whole like arrangement and something else. Ike sent me some messages. He's like, "Hey guys, thanks for having me on the Primetime Guitar thing." He's like, "Live is the way to go."
Oh,
so
awesome.
I think that if you guys if you didn't tune into the Flipside Music, the Great American Guitar Store live thing, I've been drinking all day.
At least since 5.
At least, yeah. Well, no, since before then. So, but like Ike's like, "This is awesome," and we had like such a great response. And I'm like, I know you're going to build your audience if you do this. And so if you guys want to see like, hey, Ike, can we hear this insert thing that, because like you said, they have a whole fucking guitar store that like they can like just like grab a guitar, grab a cable. What's the difference between this cable and that cable? What are these strings like? They can show you in real time what that stuff is like. And if you want to hear, I don't know, insert name of boutique pedal that they have, do you know they have like 12 or 1,500 different pedals? And I'm not talking about like they have 1,200 Boss DS1s. They got 1,200 different things all at the same time. So they've got all kinds of crazy crap.
I didn't know it was that big.
Yeah, it's a lot, dude. And so if you say, well, I want to hear this one, okay, fine. And Ike's a great player. Dylan's a great player. They'll if you ask them, and as soon as they get geared up to do it, they'll be like, hell yeah, and they'll yank it off the showroom floor and just make it go.
That's so cool because
I bet you
I don't do pedal stuff, and they do.
They are the pedal kings of Denver. So anyway, so Chris, the Maximum Guitar Works neck. What say ye? I mean, you've seen it in action, right? I mean, I think it's just totally cool. And Steve was telling me, he's like, I know there was a bunch of like, hey Steve, can you make? Yeah, Steve can do any of that stuff, but Dylan and I asked Steve to do this. Why didn't you do 25? Because 25.5 is a standard thing.
Yeah, because
it's a known, unless you're into Paul Reed Smiths or Dobros. There's 2 scales, and I love Paul Reed Smith. I love Fender, and I love Gibson too. But it was and the thing too is, if
This is if you don't just go to somebody
no.
and say, hey, here's $100. Can you custom spec me this neck from scratch?
Now make it in 4 different scales.
Yeah, you can't, and 2 different heels and all the stuff. You can't do that.
I can't afford to do that.
But Steve was like, if you come to me with this right now, the timing is good.
Yep.
Because I need to set up 25.5 inch for my own stuff.
Yep.
So now the timing is right, and a lot of that cost that we couldn't afford was absorbed by working together with him at this crazy weird
imagine
time in history.
Imagine how cool this is, though. You can get one of Steve's template sets. You can get one of Steve's necks probably very, very soon.
Mm-hmm.
And it might not be exactly what you want right away. Keep
an eye on it.
Keep an eye on it, and don't be surprised if in the last year Steve's come out with his template set, and then thanks to poking and prodding from people like me and some people who might be quieter than me, he's gotten like all this other new stuff inside of 12 months. Don't be surprised when he comes out with a 24 and 3, whatever. Don't be surprised. Here's what I can tell you. I'm not going to do it.
No.
Because I don't have the capability to. Steve does. So, yeah.
Oh, one of the things we did not talk about.
No, okay.
Because this is coming to Dylan Talks Tone very soon. There are lasers.
We did.
And then there are lasers. Well, he bought the latter and he has both of them. But this new one can engrave in metal.
Do you have the things that he did for you here?
It's in the van. I don't have it here. Yeah. But so him and I have been discussing a way, because I've been really having fun with these little short runs of pickups, like where we this pickup is only going to be sold for 2 weeks. We make as many of them as we sell, and then we move on to something else. Just kind of these fun little custom short run things. Well, he's got this new laser. I gave him some pickup covers, and I said, what can you do with these? The stuff that he did with them. I'll post them on Instagram so that you can see the resolution that he can do. So there will be some extremely cool custom designs coming from Dylan Talks Tone that I'm going to have him make the covers for me that you're not going to be able to get anywhere else, because they're going to be custom. And not just anybody can engrave metal. Most people that have a laser...
There's guys who can do stuff by hand. This is okay. If you're into the whole engraving metal thing, there's engraving, which is a true art. There's that stamping, which doesn't look anything like engraving, and then there's this laser thing that Steve has.
Yeah,
he's got it. He's got a laser that can do like fine line engraving. He can set the frequency or the temperature to make it a color.
Yeah,
and it's a predictable color. So I want it to be blue in there. I want it to be whatever colors are available.
It's crazy.
Like if you say I have 303 stainless or whatever, he can type in and he can figure out like to do colors on things.
Yep.
How cool is that?
Yeah. So I gave him the suggestion also of coming up with sets for like tele stuff. Like like with these plates and the bridge.
But good, not the craptastic Amazon cheap junk.
Like legit stuff. So that stuff will be coming to Dylan Talks Tone pretty soon too. I'm really, really excited about it.
Yeah. There's so much good stuff coming, Dylan, in the next 6 months.
Oh yeah.
I am super excited for all of the classes that we have going. I'm super excited for the necks that we're going to be using, the pickup winding stuff that we're going to be now.
So somebody just asked, what do you think about quarter pounder pickups? And I'm like, why have a quarter pounder when you can have a half pounder?
Hey! Well,
this thing weighs almost that much.
I love that pickup. I'm not a good guitar player, but I do know how to turn the knobs all the way to the right. So that's what I did when I got it.
And it sounded awesome.
The gain was screaming, and it was going through a Mesa Boogie, and well, shock of shocks, it sounded big and bad.
Apparently, somebody said it's called laser etching, which I think we already knew.
Fine,
but it's actually engraving the metal. That's the thing.
Well, I know. You know what? You
think it's etching.
Who gives a toss what it's called? It's cool.
This is next level.
Okay, yeah.
This thing he's got is next level.
Okay, yeah.
It's some kind of voodoo that I've never seen before.
Yep.
It's really, really cool.
People get so hung up on the whole specifics and semantics of everything, and they lose sight of the big picture.
I know.
Who said that?
The coolness factor is all that matters. Yeah. This is first and second cool.
Agreed. It's quantifiable, and you can put a price on it, and you like it because you like it. And let's face it, cool things are cool because they're cool, and being cool costs money, bro.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
That. Okay.
You're not supposed to say bro when you're as old
I can
as
say
us,
bro.
Apparently.
Yeah.
That was also in the comments.
What's Hulk Hogan gonna do? so like
He says brother.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. For we've talked about this all month long, the whole Harley Benton thing, and I know I'm not supposed to get into it, and you're not supposed to get into it, but like how many people go, oh yeah, man, check out my Harley Benton. Ain't it cool? Ain't it as cool as your legit vintage Telecaster? No, because I mean it's a neat guitar, and that's where the cool thing ends. Mm-hmm. The second cool is like totally gone. And I hope you guys are flooding the comment section with Harley Benton rules and I like mine and whatever jerk off thing you guys are talking about. But yeah, the fact of the matter is that like cool stuff costs money.
It does.
And it's okay if you don't have money for cool stuff, but cool stuff costs money.
This right here is cool.
Yep.
It does cost money.
It does cost money.
But this is okay. There's first cool.
Yep.
There's second cool.
Yep.
And I don't know if this is a 2.5 or a 3.
You can have a third cool. I don't care.
The satisfaction of doing it yourself.
Oh,
and
right.
It possesses the first two.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you did it yourself. That's this right here.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's the neat part.
Yeah. So I'm going to make sure that there are links everywhere. If you find me on the internet, there will be links to find this. To come to this class in September.
The first one is September, and the next one is, I don't know when it is.
Yeah, March, I think. So
it's on the web.
It's on the website, yeah. They're both dates are up
2 months ago?
No, it's coming up soon.
I think they're going to sell out quicker than we realize.
Has Chris Hendricks signed up yet?
I don't know. I don't think he's in the comments tonight,
What seems to be the problem, Chris?
I'm sure he will.
Okay. So let me go back to the whole Harley Benton thing. I don't know anything about Harley Benton anything. But what I do know is that knockoffs aren't as cool as the original.
No.
I don't care what it is. Knockoffs aren't as cool as the original.
No.
So, yeah.
I was staying in Golden, Colorado at an RV park, listening to a Kiss cover band, thinking exactly that.
Was it Maxi Kiss?
That they are good.
Well,
They are good.
They are good.
But they're not really a Kiss tribute band.
Yeah.
They're a tribute to Mini Kiss.
Yeah.
But with full-size dudes.
Yeah.
Really?
Maxi Kiss.
Maxi Kiss.
So that's like a third order tribute. Interesting. A tribute of a tribute.
It's sort of like, sometimes though a knockoff can. All right, I'm going to have to eat a little bit of crow here.
Okay.
Sometimes, can you think of one guitar example where the knockoff is cooler than the original?
I can't think of I can think of a couple of bands.
You know an example where a knockoff is cooler than the original. Chris is whispering it to you. Yeah. Slash's 1959 Les Paul that was built in 1982 by Chris Deering.
I gotta give you that.
I mean, so that's
But the problem is that's the provenance of the music that he made.
Yeah,
with it.
yeah.
That's second cool only.
Sentence, by the way, provenance of the music that he made with it.
Yeah,
that's
well done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because that's second
Check
cool
out the
only.
big brain on Dylan.
That's second cool only. That guitar probably was not that actually technically cool.
I don't know.
But it was cool because he made cool music with it, and now we're like, yeah, bro, Sweet Child of Mine, and now.
Yeah. Oh, also, I believe it's Sweet Child O' Mine.
Oh, yes,
yeah,
you're right. Yeah, there are also
what in a big country, not big country.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
a big country. I lost
country,
that.
not big
I lost
country.
that dollar bet today as well.
That's right.
It's a
good thing we weren't betting any you daddies on that.
Yeah,
'cause I'd have lost.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are some bands where you're like, so, for example, I would rather see a Cinderella cover band than actually see Cinderella now.
I don't know. There's 2 yeses and 2 nos. And okay,
Skid Row.
let me ask you,
Skid Row.
Row for sure.
Skid Row. I would rather see a Skid Row cover band than a Skid Row.
All right, would you rather
Sebastian Bach
see?
might actually be singing in the cover band.
That's true, too.
I think if you were in a Greg Kihn tribute band, Greg Kihn might be in the band. What about this? What about a Britney Fox tribute band versus actual Britney Fox?
I think after the first album, it was a Britney Fox
Chris,
tribute band.
Chris, what would the Britney Fox tribute band be called? There's only one right answer. No, there's 2 right answers.
I don't.
One.
Britney Fox's.
No. That would be the all-girl Britney Fox tribute band. Although
Britney's
Girls'
Fox?
School could be, but that was an actual band. So
That's way too clever.
But so Long Way to Love would be the Britney Fox tribute band, unless it was all girls, and then it would be Britney Fox's because Girls' School was already a band.
That's true.
So you couldn't be called Girls' School.
On that note, thanks for hanging out for Primetime Guitar. The very first, we succeeded.
Yeah, right on. Happy meal to us.
Yeah, with 3 solid hours of, I consider it quality content. It was awesome. Thanks for hanging out, you guys. Make sure you check out the links in the description for this stuff. I'll put them in there right away. They're also already on my Facebook. Pictures of how a time-lapse video of how this actual right here neck was made in a CNC machine. It's on my Instagram. Yeah, it was this one. And I'm going to post a bunch of pictures of this guitar as it evolves over the next few days on Instagram as well, so you can kind of see what you're getting yourself into when you come to Texas Toast Guitars, the wood, sweat, and beers.
Hey, can I have it not say beer if I don't drink beer? No!
No. Wood, sweat, and orange juice doesn't have the same ring to it.
Hardly the same panache.
So, anyway, thanks for hanging out.